I was in Maryland with Lady Antebellum, and I was on the SD5, the Digico console. And on my console, I have a card in the back that allows my console to talk to a Wave sound grid server. The console itself is very stable. I believe that the Wave sound grid server by itself is very stable. But as anyone in my profession that uses a Digico console will tell you, they probably have a macro button on their console that is the abandon ship Waves button. So when you press that, it takes it mends any inserts that may be going through Waves and allows the console to function by itself as a console without passing audio through the Waves environment that may not be happy with that union at the time. In this case, the relationship between the Digico and the SoundGrid server, this was in the middle of a show, had a hiccup. We've been rolling through scene changes on my console, rolling through the show just fine, and there was a point in the show where the artist comes out from the stage and comes past me at front of house to a stage behind me that's up on a platform. So we're doing 101, 102 peak in this acoustic moment environment, and my artist is behind me with 3 open vocal mics and an open acoustic guitar. And once they arrive at this point, I would normally roll into a snapshot on my console that mutes the band and leaves their guitar and vocals open at this place on stage so that guys on the band can go do whatever they're going to do, and we're isolated and I only have to worry about these 4 inputs at front of house. Well, as I roll into that scene and mute the band, I get an error message on the console. Something has gone wrong, and there was one button you could click and it said, okay. Okay, what? What are you about to do when I hit okay? So as I'm moving faders at this point, I realize there are no values registering on the console with my fader moves, and none of the buttons are working, and the console has locked me out. It's still passing audio. The vocal mics and the acoustic guitars are open, but I've got artists out here basically naked without a band, and I can't do anything. It sounded fine. There's no feedback. Everything is working as it should. But what's going to happen next? What's going to happen when my artist walks off stage and the band needs to come back in? That button that rolls into the next scene that opens up the band isn't going to work. So my systems tech is freaking out a little bit. I'm definitely freaking out a little bit. Like, I mean, what do we do? Well, there's a red button on the back of the console that if you push that button, the idea is that the console computer that's passing audio stays on and it resets the surface. That's the idea. So I determine when the artist is going to exit the B stage, if you will, and head back towards the main stage, we're going to press the red button, which should leave their vocals open to be able to talk to the audience through their travel, and also leave the acoustic guitar open so that they can play along and sing. And I've got a narrow window of time before the full band needs to kick back in. Maybe everything will come back and I can push the button and roll into the next scene at the right time. So, of course, artist is walking down the stairs. System tech is behind the console. Press it. Here we go. Their vocal mics and their guitar stay up. They start walking, and at this time on stage, the drummer is doing a 4 on the floor bass drum thing, and there's enough drum sub coming off of the stage in this amphitheater, in this shed, that it moves the attention of the audience to the stage, like, what's going on? This goes on for about 4 bars as the artists are walking and talking to the fans, and they're watching them go. And the console comes back online, 3, 2, where the band drops in, and I hit the button, and it opened up, and the band was there, and everything was fine for the rest of the show. I'm literally within 3 beats of it's about to be too late. The artist really didn't know any different, and I don't know that the audience really knew any different. Direction, their attention moved, and there was still things going on, and it wasn't dead air, but I definitely lost some hair that day.